Hi, Photo Fisher here again. In this short video I'll show you some of my DIY or do-it-yourself add-ons I've done with my Grainfather. I like to brew outside in the fall, but I do know that this thin stainless steel wall will get cool air from outside and compete with hot water on the inside. So to make that more insulated, I've taken some Reflectix 16 inches high, and I've cut out a piece to go completely around the unit and then to attach with Velcro on either side. I'll install it now. To make your own, you'll need around 39 inches, maybe 40 inches total, of length of 16-inch high Reflectix. You'll need some industrial strength adhesive backed Velcro strips. Because they're going to receive a lot of heat, you want to make sure that they don't melt off. I think normal Velcro strips, the adhesive wouldn't be strong enough and it would just kind of sag. And just make some small strips to put it together. I decided to attach mine, both edges, next to the recirculation bar, and so I've had to make some slits to fit through the brackets of the recirculation bar. I've also cut out small little notches to go over the heat probe and the wort intake to the pump. Just makes it fit much nicer. Certainly you have to cut out around the temperature control unit. That's pretty easy, it's a square. And what it leaves you is a piece like this that you just trim down, and you can slide it right in here to give that little extra insulation behind the pump. All in all, it makes a pretty sharp looking insulation blanket for your Grainfather. The next thing I've done is I've added a timer, a 4-step timer, to be able to make sure I hit my times on my mash and my boil. Mash, I want to hit certain temperature steps, and boil, then I'd reprogram it to hit hops additions, my Wurflock addition, and then my final hops for aroma. Sits in there pretty easily. This unit has a little table stand on it. The magnets, by the way, don't work on stainless steel very well, so I just kind of lift the control unit. It still sits in there nice and firm, and I have my alarm, my 4-step alarm, ready to go. There are third-party units that will control all these steps automatically for you, raise the temperature when needed, and beep at you when you need to add hops. In fact, you could probably even make a hops rotisserie to automatically add hops in at the right times. But I really like to be hands-on with my brew day experience. I don't want to be a plug-and-play experience. So I like to be in control of the temperatures and the times based upon what I see in my mash tun and in my boil pot. Another thing I like to have handy when I'm brewing, particularly when I'm transferring the chilled wort into my fermentation vessel, is I have a spray bottle ready to go with some sanitizing fluid. Just spray it on your hoses, you spray it on the lip of the fermentation bucket or glass carboy that you may be using. Anything that will be touching that chilled wort, you'll want to sanitize. A cleaning step that you should not forget is to take off this check valve. Be careful when you take it off, because there's a small stainless steel ball in here on top of the spring. There it is. You don't want to lose those pieces. You can see that this, from my recent brew day, has some hops and some leftover grains in there. So you just have to clean that out, and then you put it back together. Make sure also that this small O-ring isn't compressed or pinched or deformed or dried out. You want a nice new O-ring in there, and one does come with your brand new Grainfather in a little spare parts kit. As you put it back together, just simply make sure the O-ring is there, put the spring inside the tube itself, put the stainless steel ball on top, put that all together, and just hand tighten. You don't want to compress that O-ring too much. So that's about good right there, and you're ready for the next brew day. To put the unit away for storage, I do like to use these clips just to hold the lid on. And I'll push them down. In fact, you really can't. It's just too tight. What you can do is just secure them like this. And that lid won't come off or fall off to break while it's in transport or storage. The last thing I do before storage is to just get the extension power cord out of the way. And I like to keep it off the ground when I'm in storage so nobody steps on the plug or ruins the integrity of the cable itself. So I just wrap it around, tuck it inside of itself. It stays off the ground that way. Pretty tidy unit, ready for storage.
Yeah.